Welcome back. We're at the site again. We are now September 3rd today, so it's just over a month that I was here last. So I'm going to give you an update. I do want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching the video. Click the like button and subscribed, obviously. And feel free to leave a comment. I always try to reply to any comments. But thanks for subscribing to all of you out there. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. You can follow along on this adventure with me. So here we are, September 3rd. So it's just over a month now, maybe 5 or 6 weeks since I was last here and did the last update. There is some progress on the house, and I'm going to walk you down there in a moment and I'll show you what's the latest. But the rendering's done pretty much now. Some of the roof is already in the ceiling, and so now we're just in the process now of really the next stage of the house is going to be tiling, which is going to be done in about 2 weeks, as you have to order 2 weeks in advance to get the tiles. So that order's already been placed. So when we come back again in 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully the tiles would have already been started. So let me take you down to the house and we'll show you where we are at the moment. Excuse me while I walk through this long grass. So we're going to enter through the back door again. And you can see a complete transformation as to what it was last time when you had the exposed brick. Here we're using the 14 centimeter walls. On all the exterior walls are all going to be 14 centimeter, whereas on the inside it's the 7 centimeter. So you can see here the laundry room now all been rendered. That's where the main service wires are going to be. Additional room here, all rendered nicely. Nice thick 14 centimeter walls. You get a better idea now of the size of the kitchen window because all the rendering's finished. So they're going to, next stage obviously is to put the window frames in. And the living room looks a lot larger now than it did before. Now that it's all been rendered, you get a real sense of the size of the room. Ceiling's in, obviously, part of it anyway. You see where they still have to fill in the holes and do the painting, etc. The only rooms that don't have the ceiling at the moment is the bathroom, which is here. The walk-in closet. These are the only 2 rooms left now that don't have ceiling. Second bedroom has ceiling. Terrace, obviously, all this has been rendered outside now. They did a great job, actually. Good job here. They rendered all this down nicely. These metal frames here are going to be for the extended roof that's going to come out here. And we're going to have pillars going up. And there will be a kind of like a little barrier going across here. Another barrier here. So there's a lot of space out here on this terrace. The back of the house, we've had a local neighbor is going to help us out. We're going to build a little kind of concrete platform to put our water tank, water pump, water filter. The water needs to be filtered here because of the natural iron in the water coming from the ground from the deep well could taint the color of the tiles in the bathroom. So we're going to have a water filter installed. And this is where it's going to be. They're going to have a base here, put some earth down, another concrete layer, and then eventually we'll have a roof just going over the top. And we will probably get this wired, get it secure eventually. But that's where that's going to be. And of course it's only about 3 meters from the house. This is our second grey water tank that's going to service the kitchen and the laundry. Right here, it hasn't been connected yet. What we're also going to do, along the base of the wall here, all along here, going about 1 meter out, we're going to have concrete base going all the way around the house, which will help with the rainfall when it comes off. It'll try and stop the rainfall from eroding the ground underneath the house. Yeah, so sorry that there isn't much to update you with today. Considering we've been, it was about 5 or 6 weeks ago I was last here. There's still a lot on back order, so the contractors are waiting for a lot of stuff to come in before they can proceed. I think we plan to come back maybe in about 2 weeks, somewhere about mid-September. We plan to come back. I'm hoping by then the tiling would have started. Today we went to we were in town and we went to get the paint. We chose our paint for the outside and the inside of the house. We're going to go with a kind of a blue and a brown theme, which I think is going to look pretty cool. So there's still a lot to plan. The tiles, I think, are going to be interesting, especially the kitchen counter tile is going to be pretty cool. I'm going with a kind of like a green brown theme in the kitchen to kind of bring the outside in, to try and fit into the ambience around here. I think it'll look pretty cool, but obviously you'll see that at a later stage. The builders think, the contractor believes that we could be in the house by November. I reckon by mid-November, early November, I think we'll be starting moving to stuff in, hopefully. Of course, around here, it rains a lot around then. So that'll be interesting. But, the progress is, it's a bit slow. I'm kind of eager to get the hell out of Koh Samui. We do have a house in Koh Samui, actually. We have a house there. So the idea, obviously, was to have this house kind of like our main residence, and use that house more as a rental, kind of temporary, and that kind of thing. So we'll see if that plan ever works out. But yeah, it's nice to be back in Phrom Kiri. One thing I did want to talk about was the way we have to work with the contractor and the bank. Very often the way it works is, even though the bank does approve the payments, you have to put up a certain amount in advance. For example, our tiling and all the work surrounding the tiling is going to cost approximately $160,000. Now the contractor can't wait for the bank to pay that money. So we have to go ahead and pay a deposit so they can go ahead and order the tiles. And then once the bank sends the next part of the payment, we can take that money back. So that's kind of how it's worked all the way through the process of this build, is that you have to put so much money up ahead so the contractor can order the supplies, they can order materials, and then they can move ahead. If you have to wait solely on the bank, I think it would probably take you a year to finish. And in order we want to get this finished before the end of the year, we have to push it forward, and we have to pay up a certain amount of money up front and pay for certain materials, and then obviously that money, as I said, will get paid back once the money goes through from the bank. So that's how it's worked out since we've been doing this build, which is fine, because I want to get it finished. I want to pay for whatever materials they need so they can start and they can order. It's not like you can just go down to the shop and pick up a bunch of bricks and cement. Obviously things take time to order. So anyway, but you have to keep watching. I'm going to be back here probably in 2 or 3 weeks with another update on the tiles, and obviously keep you posted on what's going on. So there's still a fair amount to do. Still a lot of cleanup to do around here. I don't know how long it's going to take these guys to clean up, but there's a lot to clean up. It's a perfect day here. You can see the mountains through the backdrop there, covered by cloud again. Every time I come here, the mountains are covered by cloud. Nothing like building in the country. So the rain stopped now. We're just sitting here enjoying the evening ambience. Wow, it now got dark suddenly. I think our grass needs cutting. I want to be careful where I'm treading. This is a little thing I wanted to show you. Down here, you can't see it now, it's all overgrown quite badly. But believe it or not, down there's a little stream. And what I want to do when I'm here, you know, for a longer period, is try and cut all this back and open up that stream. Maybe have a little river bank here or something. Anyway, that's the idea. Yeah, so here you get a better idea of the size of the land. Those trees there mark the border. By the way, if you ever think of coming to Phrom Kiri, if you haven't visited this area before, I highly suggest it. It's a beautiful place, beautiful part of the country. Kiriwong's a gorgeous town over here, a few miles. But if you ever come to Phrom Kiri, there's a lot of homestays here, a lot of cafes here. They love their cafes. Quite a lot to do here. Some hiking trails up at the national park. It's a gorgeous place to visit and spend a couple of days. You should come by Phrom Kiri. It's a beautiful place. Well, it turned out to be a beautiful morning after all that rain yesterday. We spent the night in our favorite homestay. The rain has kind of cleared the clouds a little bit. You can see the mountains now quite clearly from here. But let me just pan around, give you a little sense of why I love this place. So yeah, when we visit Phrom Kiri to check on the house, we stay at, there are a few different homestays we stay at. There's several in the area. This is one of the better ones. They charge 600 baht per night. But yeah, you come in here, you have a little parking space. The rooms are down here. There's a little coffee room in the morning. The owners do live on site, but it's quiet here. You tend not to really hear much at all when I'm staying here.